Welcome to another day of literally not the best of moves, bro. Anyway, let's jump right into the nitty gritties. Euro JPY coming to the 4 hour swing high, right? And now we're showing signs of being a little bearish. Like I did say yesterday, that it's kind of hard looking for buys at this point, right? Even though for the past few days it has been like very bullish, but coming into the 15-minute swing high and the 4 hour swing high, like you want to be cautious of buys, right? Even though sells at this point are not horrible, right? But they're not the best as well, because you're gonna fight against this internal momentum, right? So we ended up having an IBOS today, and then basically a meltdown, and then a push up. So really nothing to do slash follow in there, right? That's according to the plan. So just another day we're gonna chalk off and see what happens on tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be busy or some else, but anyway, I'll try and check in on the charts if I can. And then Euro USD, right? We had the bullish break and 4 hour boss, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, we do also have a 4 hour boss right there. So 4 hour is bullish, 15 is bullish, so obviously you would want to like follow the bullish plays, but the bullish plays also become a little bit more risky because they tend to be more sweeping. Like here, right, you would have had this extreme, but then it sweeps and then starts moving up. In terms of anything playable today, not really, right? Coming to this here, but it's coming into this zone here, doesn't touch, moves down, and then it just bobs about right there. And so we end up, if you're in New York, starts at 3 right here, starts moving all the way up, sweeps this PRI I was looking at here, and then starts moving down a little bit. Then you can see it's iffy, not the best. So anticipation would be for the sales to continue into tomorrow, right? Something like that, maybe into there. If you can get in early after the break here, and then following that immediately before it comes into there, that is a best case scenario, but obviously it won't be as picture perfect. But we'll see what happens. I think it's not horrible, just not really great in terms of following. And then similarly we have GPUSD, but GPUSD internal was bullish, right? So maybe you would have looked for the plays in here, because on the 4 hour, as you can see, this pullback mini reaction, whatever in here, is reacting from like all zones within there without even having to go look in there. You would know that. No chalk on the 4 hour, so obviously bearish plays not the highest of probabilities. And then coming into today, you had the sweep of the Asian low, right, into whatever's left of this POI, then proceeds to push up. If you're looking at like this internal structure here, this would have been the IBOS of the IBOS, right? So this would have been the high to break for you to confidently say this is continuing, even though like the nearest like sort of high would have been like right there, the chalk would have been there. Not really the best, including the zones in here, not really the best. So as you can see, it's very iffy, not good. So obviously we stay out of price action that is iffy. I think in the long run that saves you some percentage. Like even looking at like my, I don't know, say growth chart or whatever, I have been able to eliminate a lot of the mistakes, right? The trading in iffy price and whatever. Just the only thing is just being there for the good days, and currently it's not really the good days, but really the task at hand is when the good days do roll around, like I need to be very focused and on point, and just like me and the market are like in sync and just following what it's giving off, right? And lastly, USD CAD trapped within this structure here, same as GU and all the other ones, right? We had the 4-hour swing low. Obviously cells trying to break that become a bit more riskier, right? Because you literally saying this should break the swing low, right? Obviously you do know that swing low is where there would be a bunch of orders in there. Now using the same mentality, I'd say looking for sells in here is a bit tough, but also you can look for buys without having the eyeballs, so it just makes the PA within here a bit complicated. As you can see, it's just like wicking all over. There's no good zone to follow anywhere. It's just, I don't know, like what iffy, but yeah, it's just not great. So this, you want to see something clear, bro. You want to see a clear move, right? Clear move up, bullish momentum coming in. Maybe we get it ready for the 15 pullback, right? Clear move in, clear move out. Like just need clear moves, not these like iffy ones that are hard to justify whether this is a good zone or not. A good zone you should be able to see, bro. Like I should be able to hop onto the charts and then just count down here and say this is clearly a pivot zone, this is clearly a zone, not have to come in here and scratch my head and like this is a good POI, bro. You see this, for example, this is a pivot POI, right? Pivot POI, right? Heavy momentum out of it, it created an IBOS eventually there, which means it did something. As you can see, when the market comes into it, price stalls right there. You do get a reaction, even though it's not like a huge, what the fuck. Oh shit, I didn't know it was interest rate. No wonder it's been ass, bro. No wonder it's been ass the whole day. Whenever there's like Fed news, the market will like just not move, waiting to do a madness like this one. It just moves like crazy. See, this is why you need to check the calendar and stay up to date on that. You'll see with all the pairs, they're like huge moves. You see, GBPUSD finally breaks out, EURUSD finally breaks out. Now you start having Euro JPY pulling a madness, moving up, moving down, taking both sides of the liquidity. And then yeah, I think this builds up tomorrow. Then you would find that whatever is left in here, and maybe you see it push up. For example, let's say this was there, see it push up higher, and then leave something a little bit more clear in there, right? Where clearly price came in here, which is this, and then you want to follow from there and move higher, something like that. So we'll see how it looks tomorrow, and yeah, that's it. Have a blessed one.